Hey, welcome to Screenplay Junkie. My name's Drew Hellmich, and I'm a screenwriter. Film is a pretty sweet medium of art. However, before anything can make it to the big screen, it must start as a blueprint, text on paper. So if you're a fellow addict of film and storytelling, come join us as we take a look at various types of screenplays, short stories, and other source material that were crucial to the creation of the stories that we all love. I must warn you, though, there will be spoilers, so I do recommend being familiar with the title that's being discussed. Sound good? Cool. Then let's get started. Hey, welcome back, fellow story addicts, to Screenplay Junkie episode number 29. Drew, Matt, and Bryan here.
29.
29. I still remember that. That's
You know Spanish.
Is that right? 29.
Yep.
29. Correct.
What's 30?
30.
Oh, that's next week. Coming up.
So you guys afraid of heights, or?
Me personally, it's when it's pushing higher heights, but I say I'm right around like 100 feet is my breaking point.
I mean, I was kind of afraid of... We were on our roof earlier, all three of us, and I didn't really like that. And that's only like, 12 or 15 feet?
You were getting pretty like sea leggy up there, shaking, huh?
My legs were not shaking. What are you talking about? Not at what point were my legs shaking?
You had those spaghetti legs.
The spaghetti legs.
No, you had the rubber legs, like in like Benny the Jet.
Yeah, I got rubber legs. I'm cool with that. I'll take that description. That's a positive thing, having rubber legs.
Yeah.
But this overall height, though, we're looking at Cliffhanger today. And throughout the movie and screenplay, how high were they? How are they above the ground?
Thousands of feet.
Thousands.
Not just on the roof of a
amount.
home. Yeah, they're on top of mountains.
Yeah.
Mountains. Sylvester Stallone too, man. He could just dangle. He can make any climb possible, with or without rope. He's a beast.
He's a
in this
man
movie.
with rock.
It just doesn't matter, dude.
I'm surprised they didn't cast The Rock for him to climb some rocks.
Yeah, this mountain is no match for me. I
Great
can climb anything.
Gonna be a lot of that. A lot of the Stallone impersonations today.
Just so many Stallone impersonations.
Yeah. All right.
I named the mountain Adrian.
So why are we doing this episode? Why Cliffhanger? I mean, we might as well just kind of start with that after that little intro we just did.
Okay. Well, I mean, because that is a good question, because I'm wondering how many people have seen this movie out there.
I'm assuming it's a handful.
Yeah. The reason we're doing this is because I had an opportunity to speak with a guy who was a producer in Hollywood for about 20 years. He's retired now, but at the end of our conversation, I just asked him, hey, like, what are some screenplays that you would recommend we read, to learn from?
Because you told him about our podcast.
Yeah, right. And I was more asking him just from a writer's perspective, but he was talking about it in totality, production-wise. What he said to me was, here are two screenplays. One of the movies is good. The other movie, not so much. So what he was trying to tell us is, no matter how good of a screenplay you can write, the team that produces it and puts it together into the physical film part may not turn out so good because it's such a collaborative art form, which, that sucks, but that's the reality of it.
Yeah, I mean, reality is, too, that the book is usually better than the movie, or, like, the written thing is usually better, but you're right. Like, a director, someone could just take your awesome idea and then turn it into crap,
Right.
and your name is attached to it.
Yeah, because I feel like the thing is, when you're reading a novel of some sort, your imagination tends to go more than what just like a movie. It's like, this is the way you're seeing it, and it's just like, that's how you register it, not being able to think in how your own way you would see it.
Yeah, I'll bring this up too. Just like with Cliffhanger, as we saw, the screenplay is it's not totally different than the movie, but there are a lot of differences, and it just shows they can buy your idea and they can change whatever they want. It's just up to them. And what was the other movie or the other script he told you to read besides Cliffhanger?
Good Will Hunting.
And Good Will Hunting. Okay, and we
And
know
he says,
and we know that one's good on
which
both
one
ends.
was good or bad.
No, he didn't explicitly say, hey, this one's better. It was just like, yeah, one is better than the other. The movie. The finished movie, yeah.
Gotcha.
Which, I mean, I mean, Good Will Hunting won an Oscar.
Yeah, so that's clearly the better one here.
Yeah.
So in this guy's opinion, Cliffhanger, the movie, isn't that good.
Yeah.
But he liked the screenplay.
Yes.
And so did we. All right, so a big reason we do this show, we do this podcast, is so we can read screenplays, so we can get better at writing our own. And Drew is the best one here at writing them, and I know he's kind of got an announcement that he can make about something he's written.
About a week ago, actually, while we were recording Parabellum, I got an email from a guy who I had pitched one of my horror scripts to, and apparently he liked it. So right now we're talking about right now we're talking potentially about hopefully making it into a feature film. So
oh shit,
yeah, pretty exciting.
Oh hell yeah, dude, that's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Trying to stay calm though, because again, nothing is guaranteed yet. Just trying to learn the process. Mm-hmm. So yeah, just wanted to share that. Excited about it, but staying calm.
It's the way to go.
Dude, totally.
All right, well, cool. Let's roll on into the IMDb info.
All right, so Cliffhanger came out on May 28th, 1993, and I'll read the logline. A botched mid-air heist results in suitcases full of cash being searched for by various groups throughout the Rocky Mountains. Kind of sucks, honestly.
Various groups.
Do you want me to read it again?
There's only one group.
I'll read it without even my dumb voice. A botched mid-air heist results in suitcases full of cash being searched for by various groups throughout the Rocky Mountains. It's like, what? It's only one group really searching for the money.
Yeah, it's kind of vague.
That's a bad...
I don't really like it.
Is that the worst logline we've ever covered in the show?
That was probably one of my least favorites, to be honest.
It's terrible.
What was the other one? Smart House was a pretty bad one.
Props.
But that's a Disney Channel original movie.
Yeah, right.
This is a $50...
This has Stallone in it, Drew.
Yeah, this is Sylvester. This is prime time. This is A-list Hollywood
I doubt
material.
that's like the logline they used to pitch it, though.
It's a bad logline. So the movie was directed by Rennie Harlan, and the writing credits are given to 4 people. 4 people,
Wow,
I guess,
4 people on this one
are
again,
credited with the movie. Okay.
Yeah.
The original premise, is written by John Long. The screen story is written by Michael France, and that's the screenplay we have. We read the one by France.
Right.
And then Michael France and Sylvester Stallone together then are credited with the screenplay itself, too.
Okay.
Well, I guess it's only 3 people.
I want to know what Stallone contributed to the screenplay. I mean, I know he does write a lot of the things that he's in, but I want to know like what specifically did he contribute?
He probably just had to write his own dialogue because they had to ask him. They're like, "What words are you capable of pronouncing? Like, what words can the audience understand you saying?"
Just like there's like a few.
Arrow. I can't say arrow.
Yeah, Arrow?
I don't know. That was an awful impersonation.
He probably,
but
whatever,
I don't think he can say his ours.
He probably can't say the word arrow. Yeah.
No way.
So let's see. Starring in the movie, we were just talking about him. Sly Stallone is Gabe Walker. Mm-hmm. Gabe Walker, just like the best mountain climber in the world in this movie. Then John Lithgow plays the bad guy Quaylen. Michael Rooker plays Hal Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's Merle in The Walking Dead, if you've watched that.
Ah, yes.
He's in Guardians of the Galaxy, too.
Oh, yeah.
He's a really good actor. I like him. Then Janine Turner plays Jesse Deegan, and Rex Lynn plays Richard Travers. And that's pretty much everyone important.
Yeah, I'd say so.
All right, so they made the movie for $70 million.
Holy shit.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, especially back in 1993.
Mm-hmm.
$70 million. But worldwide, it made $171 million.
All right, good job.
Yeah, great job.
But not so good on opening weekend, I guess you could say, and gross in the USA. It only kind of broke even in the U.S., so this movie made a lot of money internationally.
All right.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I mean, who...
Good for them, you know?
Who gets to dub the voices for Sylvester Stallone in all those other languages?
I don't know.
That would be really funny.
Some little scrawny guy who with like a pipsqueak voice talking in like Cantonese.
Yeah, it seemed like that's what he's saying.
Exactly. Look that up on YouTube or something one day.
Yeah, right.
All right, you guys want to do the trivia on this one? It's really short.
Hit us with it.
All right, cool. So, TriStar Pictures and Kuroko Pictures. Those were the 2 companies that made the movie.
Whoa.
They were forced to pay out an additional $750,000, $750,000, to 3 separate writers who were all claiming credit for the story. So I don't know if those were the people I listed just before or if there were some other names. I have no idea.
Wow.
But a bunch of people claim that they wrote this movie.
That's a good payday.
Isn't that... How does that happen?
$750,000 is a good payday for a writing credit.
It's a lot of money.
That is.
So if you've seen the movie, you might agree with this. The movie's been criticized for its unrealistic portrayal of rock climbing. And like an example, and we'll talk about this later, is they feature a bolt gun in the movie where Sly can just fire it and it sticks right into the rock and it's just like ready to be used to climb and help them climb.
Yeah.
It's not real. There's other properties of just rock that are ignored in the movie, technical inaccuracies about rock climbing. So if you're really into rock climbing, this movie's going to piss you off. It's basically my point that I'm making. Let's talk about the opening scene. You guys have seen it. We know what happens. A girl slips and falls out of Sly Stallone's hands.
Yeah.
And she plummets to her death. It's
awful.
horrible. It's awful to watch.
What a way to open a movie, though. Just like, whoa.
Correct.
It is an effective opening, yeah, for sure.
But it doesn't really relate to the plot.
It really has nothing to do with the plot, other than the relation to Hal.
Yeah, it's just like
Hal's
Hal.
girlfriend.
Exactly.
That's about it.
But I just want to talk about how her glove, like her hand slips out of her glove, right?
Okay.
And that's how she falls. Well, in order to get it to slide off, the director, Rennie Harlan, had her wear a glove that was like 5 sizes too big.
Oh.
And they just coated the inside with Vaseline. And still, it was really hard for her hand to slip out. But the director really wanted that shot. And they ended up getting it.
All right, well, that makes me feel better about wearing gloves while I go climbing if I ever climb.
Would you actually?
Yeah, they're going to stay on.
Yeah. Would I ever do that?
You think you would?
Probably not rock climbing to that extreme, no.
Up, bro.
Probably not to that level, no way.
It's pretty dangerous. You're really trusting your equipment.
I just have no interest.
I mean, it's really fun, like, if it's set up, of course, rock climbing, like with the automatic belays or someone's belaying you, like, yeah, of course not to go free climbing.
It's an adrenaline rush. You really got to want it, like you were just saying, Drew. But the film, back to the film, it's in the Guinness Book of World Records for the costliest aerial stunt ever performed, at least at the time in the 90s. And this stunt, if you've seen the movie, you'll recognize it. It's when a plane it's kind of like in the new Batman, the one with Bane.
Right.
Like one plane flies below the other plane.
Yep.
And they attach a wire, and they're like sending cargo from one plane to the other.
Yes.
Or sending people. And they actually had a guy go from plane A to plane B and ride a cable. And they shot it, and they had to pay the guy $1 million.
Oh,
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think the way he did it, it wasn't like he was strapped in. It looked like he just threw like this bicycle-looking handlebar with wheels on it and then just was holding on. So if he would have let go, he would have fell to his death.
The stuntman was not insured whatsoever. The insurance companies refused to insure it at all. If he fell and died, his family got nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, I felt like they did it like such a long shot.
Excuse me, maybe his family would just get that $1 million that he was paid to do the stunt.
That's insane.
I was just going to say, it felt like they did it, the way they did it, it was like such a long shot. I felt like they could have thrown a parachute on him and you couldn't even know, like you wouldn't be able to notice.
Exactly. But whatever. $1 million, no big deal.
Or just strap him in.
That guy,
it goes up his suit or something.
Like
I don't know.
He's a legendary stuntman.
Yeah, legendary.
And I don't even know his name. Oh, Simon Crane. What a beast.
Just a mill.
Shout out Simon Crane, man.
And Stallone was the guy who like paid most of that fee too, that mill.
Okay.
And let's talk more about Stallone. So he's an avid golfer. If you didn't know, apparently he can swing with his massive biceps. He's still able to swing a golf club.
I would have never guessed.
But he found that rock climbing, it really roughed up his hands, and consequently, it messed up his golf game, and he wasn't too happy about that.
Oh my god.
And he also wasn't happy because the models that he was dating were complaining about his rough hands.
Oh my god.
Unbelievable.
Hey, my hot girlfriend, she's like, hey, don't touch me. Your hands, don't touch me.
He just said they were calloused and blistered.
They must have been real bad. Sorry, Sly. Sorry, man.
God. Little heel.
So Sly, I don't even know how much climbing he really even did in the movie because they had an awesome stuntman for him. His name was Wolfgang Gulich.
What a name.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace. He's a dead man now. But he was Sly's double in the movie, and he was killed in a car accident shortly after the filming was finished.
No.
But he's known as one of the most skillful, daring, and popular rock climbers of all time.
Wow.
Nice. Wolfgang.
Yep. And he would agree with this statement, too, that, the harness that breaks in the beginning of the movie that the girl then falls to her death from?
Right.
That would never happen. That the harness used in that scene, like, they modified it so that it would specifically break, like, the way you see in the movie. Because the way you see it in the movie, the clip, like, rips in half.
Yeah.
And metal just doesn't rip like that.
Yeah, no.
So that was totally modified. So if you do like rock climbing, don't be scared from seeing that. All right, so the last couple things I have here are, well, the first thing is on casting. So John Lithgow played Quaylen, the bad guy. Who else do you think might have played the bad guy? Who are the first options, do you think?
Samuel L. Jackson.
No. He's not British.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, let me just say, I do not like John Lithgow in this movie. I think that was a terrible casting decision.
His voice is so cartoony.
He is, yeah.
Well, he's freaking Lord Farquaad.
Oh, he is.
So you're saying a British people?
Yeah, one of them's British, one's American.
I mean, in the 90s?
You're never
God.
I
was just going to guess the guy from Braveheart. Or no, I'm sorry, not Braveheart, Die Hard. Alan, Snape?
No,
yeah.
Not Snape. Alan Rickman or something?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
so the director's first choice was David Bowie.
Oh, that's terrible.
And then Christopher Walken somehow got in there. He's like, hey, I'm Christopher Walken. Hey.
I said to the face with a cider.
Hey, where's the money? Hey, where's the money? These mountains I can't climb.
That would have been funny, though.
So it was just those were two options that they were considering?
They wanted those guys before they got Lithgow. Like, they got Lithgow right at the end of the casting period. Okay. He was a last-minute casting call.
I was trying to think about that. Like, who else? Like, if I was in charge, who would I put there? And I was trying to go back to, like, early 90s.
Jason Statham.
Like, early 90s, though, but it's just like, I couldn't think of anybody.
Jason Statham would have been perfect. Vin Diesel, yeah.
I didn't really think about it that much. No.
Vin Diesel,
yeah.
I don't know, whatever. I'll just say it again. John Lithgow, did not care for him as a villain.
So here's a little do you remember part. You remember the part with the rabbit in the movie?
Yeah.
And we'll get to this later, but I just want to talk about how... We'll just talk about it now. So in the movie, there's a part where Sylvester Stallone picks up a rabbit, and you don't see it on the screen.
No.
But then he attaches this like GPS tracker to it. Like,
right.
how does he catch a rabbit? How is
He's
that
a mountain
possible?
man.
I guess so. He's
He's
just
just an animal whisperer.
I don't know.
well,
Maybe built a trap or something. Some sort of trap.
I think he caught it with his bare hands. I think that's what the movie implied. It's really dumb.
Well, remember in Rocky when he was running around trying to catch chickens?
Oh, so
Yeah, he just did it to a rabbit.
just training from a past movie.
Yeah, right.
Sly. I mean, that's just how confident in himself he is. He's like,
Of course I can catch a rabbit.
but in the movie, the rabbit is seen by the bad guy and he shoots at it, but he doesn't hit it. Well,
Yeah.
in the first cut, they kill the rabbit, and I guess like they showed it at an initial screening, and the audience hated it. They were so upset by a rabbit getting killed, even though all the other things in the movie happened. A rabbit dying they couldn't handle, so Sylvester Stallone paid $100,000 out of his own pocket to have them reshoot the scene so the rabbit didn't die.
Wow.
$100,000.
That's expensive, man.
Yeah, that's a
Damn.
lot of money.
I'll do it. We can't kill a rabbit. Why did we think this was a good idea?
The last thing I got is that they built this 2-story high cliff for the climactic battle sequence at the end where Sly fights Lithgow. Mm-hmm. And apparently the whole set burnt down in 8 minutes because they did the miniature helicopter crash to film it, and the fire got out of control and the everything just kind of melted.
How did they mess that up?
Hard to believe.
Just weren't paying attention?
That must have cost a lot of money.
Special effects guy got fired,
Yeah, I guess.
You're out of here.
That's all of trivia, though. We ended on a low note this time, on a fire.
All right, cool.
So make sure you check your smoke alarms, everyone.
Script info. We got Cliffhanger by Michael France, revision by Terry Hayes, which I've never seen that specified.
Terry Hayes? That's a name on there?
Yeah,
it says
it just says revision by. So I don't know what that means. He just looked through it and made notes.
You spelled this wrong here. You should have started this apostrophe here.
And he just gets a credit.
Nerd.
Good.
All the $750,000 from earlier went to this guy.
The date of the script is March 30th, 1992. It's the second revision, and it's 117 pages.
Mm-hmm.
So this nearly 2 hours.
Journey. This was a journey to get through. Good read though.
So in this segment, we're going to go through, talk about some major scenes, ones that we thought were important, ones that we thought were done well in the script, and maybe done well in the film as well. So let's kick it off with that opening scene where Hal, Michael Rooker's character, is with his girlfriend. They're mountain climbing, and they get stranded because...
They're extreme mountain climbing.
Well, the first thing, they are extreme mountain climbing, but the girl is an inexperienced mountain climber.
Yeah, so
why is Hal bringing her?
She's a total novice, like a noob, I would say.
What kind of boyfriend are you to do that?
You're a bad
Yo, you want to go
boyfriend.
climbing?
I mean, they've been dating. The plot is they've been dating for 3 years.
Wow.
And And then he's like, hey, like, I know you're awful at this, but want to do the hardest fucking mountain that I've ever seen? Want to go climb it?
It's just like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, you trying to show off to her? Because while they're up there, they get stranded because he, like, blows out a knee.
He injures his knee. Exactly.
So that's when Sylvester Stallone is just free climbing to meet their specific location. Then we meet 2 other characters who are helicopter people who are going to go get them.
They're rescuing a member of the rescue team.
Yeah, you don't want to be the rescued when you're trying to be the rescuer.
Yeah, but the mood is really light though, right? They're all kind of joking around.
It's all happy.
They're all having a good
time.
time.
Having a great time. Yeah.
Until
don't look down, Sarah.
Yeah, until because where they're at, the helicopter cannot land. So the helicopter has to land across the way where there's a humongous like trench or however you want to describe it. So they put a line across this gap in the earth, and you gotta like shimmy your way over right on a cable. So Michael Rooker's like, all right, I'm gonna go. He does it in like 30 seconds, and then his girlfriend's going across, and she's
puts on this harness. She's scared. It's a harness.
Yeah, she's scared. As I mean, every normal person would be, right? I would be terrified. She's going across very slowly, and that's like when her equipment starts to malfunction. How we said earlier is impossible.
A clip just like rips in half.
Dude, but I liked how they showed in the shots in the movie. It was like 4 or 5, and it was just think of like a backpack where like they loops inside of each other, then just getting pulled out and like just buckles flying. You're like, oh, there goes 1, there goes 2.
Yes,
because you know she's gonna fall. Big. Yeah, you know she's gonna fall. But
it's horrible to watch. It really is.
She's stuck hanging there, just hanging onto the harness itself. Yeah, Stallone's like,
awful.
I'm going out there. And he starts feeding the line to himself and traveling across.
But the line is only meant to hold one person.
Yes.
Right. And Stallone, I mean, look at him. He's a brick house.
He manages to get there at the final second, basically, and grab her by her own like forearm. Mm-hmm. So you think he's got her.
Yeah,
he's got her. But let's say she was sweaty, he was sweaty.
Starts to slip. Yeah.
She had a big glove on.
She ate a greasy cheeseburger before she started climbing. No,
her glove was filled with Vaseline. That was the problem.
Yeah,
right, from
but Stallone gets down to her hand, holds on to the glove, and the glove just slips right off,
and she falls.
Yeah, terrifying. And that's what Gabe because he in the movie he like moves away for 8 months. In the screenplay, this is all happens within the same day or the day after or whatever. Mm-hmm. So he has to live with that, and Gabe and Hal like hate each other. They have a beef
because Hal blames Gabe, and
right?
Gabe blames himself.
Yes,
entirely.
And then something else we wanted to mention about this opening scene is if you've seen Ace Ventura Part 2, with that scene where Ace and the raccoon are going across, a cliff face, a cliff face to cliff face. That's where they're making fun of this movie. They're making fun of Cliffhanger. Mm-hmm. So if you've ever seen Ace Ventura Part 2, that's where they got this from.
Wow. Classic. Who do you guys blame though for the death of Sarah in the beginning of Cliffhanger? Whose fault is it?
You can't blame anyone.
Is it just the equipment's fault?
I don't know, man. I blame Hal and Sarah, dude.
I blame
Hal for like bringing her up there. Like, dude, start her off with something easier, and I blame Sarah for just allowing him to do that. Mm-hmm. Just pull her through.
You can't blame Stallone because he actually did something.
Yeah, right.
It's like, dude, that guy. I was like probably like 120 pounds or something. It's like
I love how the one guy's like, you panicked. It's like, what? The only option was to panic.
Yeah, right.
She's hanging by a thread thousands of feet above the earth.
Yeah, seriously.
Panic. Hit the panic button.
Not an experience I hope I never go under.
Horrible experience to have to go through, but awesome beginning to a movie.
It is a good beginning, I agree.
Because it just throws you into it.
Yeah, seriously.
It really makes you understand how dangerous being on top of a mountain is.
Mm-hmm. The next scene that we wanted to talk about was the setup of how we get this heist story going on here. Let's talk about the movie first. So in the movie, you come to learn that there's like FBI agents and criminals working together. There's like a FBI plane that's carrying, I don't know, $30 million or something like that. A lot of money in the millions. And there's a separate plane of criminals that are trailing the FBI plane where there's FBI members working on one of the planes. They're in cahoots with the other guys.
Yeah. This is some Mission Impossible type shit. Yeah. Where one plane's trying to hijack the contents of another plane while they're flying thousands of feet above the air.
Yeah.
Super easy, right?
So just with that, like, how did you like that? Did you like that in the movie? Do you think that was just satisfying?
The whole way they shot it?
Just without the screenplay story that we know, did you like how the movie carried it out?
Yeah, but I guess like with the FBI guys and how they revealed like that they were working with each other, it kind of everyone just died. Like the dude, I forgot the bald dude with the mustache. I don't know, like he was like the main like FBI Travers, yeah. He was the guy that was like a part of the FBI essentially, but he just has like FBI agents with him, but those were good guys.
Yeah, he was like the only rogue guy.
Okay.
The whole situation, yeah, it was kind of odd how the FBI agent was already working with the bad guys.
We didn't know why.
How did the bad guys get another plane? How did they just fly up unnoticed? I thought it was cool how they took the money and like they were trying to get it on a cable.
Yeah, that was
fly
cool.
Away. That was pretty cool, but we'll talk about the screenplay thing. I liked the screenplay setup better.
Yeah, so did
The movie I thought was cool, but I thought the screenplay was cooler.
Yeah, so in the movie, excuse me, in the screenplay, it's Quaylen, right? Isn't that his name?
Yeah, the bad guy.
Quaylen and a bunch of criminals. We don't know if they're all on the same team or if they're all just random criminals hanging out together. So the FBI is just transporting these criminals somewhere else, and they happen to have like Quaylen's money that he got from all his drug deals that he was doing on the same plane. So they're just transporting the criminals, and then it happens to be that there's 2 FBI agents on the plane, Travers and his brother Junior.
And Travers is the one that ordered the money to be on the same plane as the prisoner.
Yeah.
Because he wants to take the money.
Yes.
Yeah. So we find out that the 2 FBI agents are rogue, and they have nothing to do with the criminals. They just come in later because they eventually crash. So then they're forced to work together. But it's interesting because actually, I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. So let's discuss the script. Why did you like that better than in the movie?
The script opening?
Yeah, why'd you like that better?
I just thought it was a more realistic reason for an FBI agent to go rogue. Like, you're not working with the criminal, you're just making a decision on your own to steal $90 million.
Yeah.
So you never have to work again. And you're willing to kill your own agents, and you're willing to kill all the prisoners on board and just jump off and crash the plane like nothing happened. Like it was just like a plane failure, I think. I just thought that was a cooler idea, a more realistic idea than an agent would do.
Yeah, right.
I guess. And I thought it was cool how their plan failed, and then he was forced to work with the bad guys.
Yeah, I mean, because I know, I know the part where I was just like, "Oh shit!" was when his brother jumped out with the parachute, and the parachute had like because there was like an exchange of them shooting at each other, and I guess his parachute got clipped with bullets. So, yeah, imagine that pulling your chute and realizing it's not going to help you to safety.
I think that happened to poor Brett too.
Yeah, it did.
A character we'll get to, non-revealing.
That just kind of reminds me. I'll just bring it up now. It's really fun in the movie Cliffhanger to just watch people falling because it's not a real person.
Yeah, it's
obviously a dummy, and it's really funny just to watch it fall. Not hit the ground, just fall.
Just fall.
So nice. I mean, yeah, we all agreed that the screenplay setup of this heist was way better. I mean, in both cases, they both crash in the Rocky Mountains. The money is everywhere.
Middle of nowhere. Yes.
Yeah, like so they have to go find it.
It's in 3 different cases that are spread out amongst the mountain.
Right.
Among these 3 different cases, what about this technology that they have to even remotely find these?
I don't know.
The tracking.
I didn't know. I don't know if that was like something that existed.
But it was funny. Like in the movie, how do
you read that?
Their screen, they had like a geometrical mountain, and then like Stallone's like, I know where that is.
I don't know how they read that thing.
Yeah, it was the most illegible map I've ever seen. I don't know how you could make out anything from it.
Maybe XYZ coordinates or something. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
It's a movie.
I mean, basically, movie and screenplay. Now that their plane has crashed, and I don't know how they survived the plane crash because that looked pretty deadly to me.
Oh yeah.
But people survived. Some people were killed off. They make a fake distress call to the local Rocky Mountain Rescue team. And that, of course,
our characters that we just
Gabe
knew from the beginning when they dropped the girl. So that's how they get brought back into it.
The mountain team, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the 2 guys that don't like each other, Gabe and Hal, because the one
are
guy
reunited,
dropped the other guy's girlfriend, they're forced to kind of work together.
Right.
Because they think they have to go rescue. What is she? She's like, we need insulin.
Yeah.
We need insulin.
Well, that part was funny because John Lithgow was like, insulin. He's like, could you think of that?
Yeah, that's funny.
I mean, maybe not that specifically. But
Do you guys know why they might need insulin?
No, I'm just thinking about that right now. I don't know.
Diabetes.
Yeah.
For the diabetes.
Someone was a diabetic?
Apparently. Well, she was pretending like someone was.
Oh, okay.
Who knows? Insulin. It's for a lot of stuff. Or no, I'm thinking of penicillin. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh. Either way.
Who cares?
So Gabe and Hal go looking for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eventually get taken hostage.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And the criminals use Gabe and Hal to find the money because they know the mountains.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which again, that's cool.
They know the safest routes to get to the money.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Which is a pretty cool idea.
All right, so we have Gabe and Hal, and they're both prisoners at war, basically, with these criminals. And there's 3 cases that they're looking for. There's 3 cases that they're looking for full of money. And we're just going to run through like the 3 times that they encounter these cases. Do they find them? We don't know. We'll let you know. So the first one, we have Gabe. He is sent up this kind of arced slope where he's kind of like climbing. Up. Yeah, he's kind of. I thought he was climbing upside down at a point.
It's an impossible climb.
They take his coat.
So
they take his coat. They take like some collateral. They tie a rope to his ankle.
Right.
And he scales this. I don't know how tall it was. Let's say 100 feet. No, not even 50 feet. He scales that and just gets to the top. And there's the briefcase. The tracking was
accurate,
precise,
yeah, ridiculous.
It was perfect. But Hal hears like the story that Quinlan says. He's like, when he gets down, kill him. And then Hal's like, Gabe, don't come down. He's gonna kill you. So they start ripping down his ankle and trying to bring him down.
Right, yeah.
But this is where Gabe escapes, and now he's free and away from the prisoner. The people, the enemies.
Yeah, there was also an avalanche in there.
There was.
But let's go on to case number 2. Case number 2.
There was a flailing body in that scene.
Yeah,
there was a flailing body.
Yeah, a falling body through the air.
Case number 2.
Case 2.
What's behind case number 2? I feel like Howie Mandel, right? Like in Deal or No Deal.
So
at
this point,
what's in the case?
Yeah, at this point, case number 2, the enemy team thinks Gabe's dead because the avalanche. Of course.
Right.
They think the avalanche.
That's right. Yeah.
And Gabe's on his way to case number 2 to beat them there because he knows where it is.
Mm-hmm.
And he makes like a really difficult climb, right, to get there. Like the east wall.
So.
I think they called it the east wall.
No,
he does something ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But of course, he beats them there. And once the enemy team reaches the tracker, that he builds it into like a snowman shape, and he's got a $20 bill slipped in it, and it just says
"Want to trade?"
Want to trade? Yeah, exactly.
I like the snowman. I thought that was cool. It was funny.
So that's 2 cases down and out. What do they say? 90 mil? That's 30 mil. Just
that's 60 mil.
Oh, 60 mil. I'm sorry. Correct. All right. Case number 3.
Case number 3.
Case 3.
Maybe there's a dog in it.
The final case. No, this was the one that we touched base on at the beginning. It's on the tracker. It seemed to be moving.
Yeah.
And this is the one he attached to the bunny rabbit.
Right.
The tracker for it.
Again, Stallone gets to the case before the bad guys can get
And I
there.
think this is the one he puts money in his backpack, doesn't he? Because he wants some. Stallone.
I never really...
I don't know.
I like that.
Some of the money is not really accounted for, I feel like, in the screenplay.
I think he puts some of it in his backpack.
I would hope so.
And then I don't know where the rest of it gone. But
right.
So the enemies, they received no money.
Yeah.
I award you no money, no points.
Yeah, and they all die on that mountain.
Yeah.
None of the bad guys make it off that mountain.
No, none of them.
Rocky Mountain Rescue took them out. Although they lost a few of their own.
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, I mean, I just said, like, Stallone beats the bad guys in the end. We knew that going into a Stallone
Absolutely.
movie. He was going to win.
Yes.
Except if you're watching Rocky 1, then he doesn't win. Sorry to spoil that. But Brett and Evan are 2 characters in this movie Cliffhanger that I really need to bring up with you guys because they're just like adrenaline junkie, just
stoners,
doofus.
Yeah, they act really goofy.
They're idiots. And at one point they see in the screenplay. I want to talk about this because in the movie they just get killed. They just walk and they see the bad guys. The bad guys just kill them.
Right.
Yeah.
In the screenplay, they're kind of tracking the bad guys and Hal for a while, and they have a gun because they found one of the dead guys, or they found a dead guy's body.
Yeah.
Picked up his gun, and the 2 idiots, Brett and Evan, are like, "We're gonna save Hal, like we're gonna be heroes." So the one guy jumps out in front of the group with his gun, and is like, "Everyone freeze! Like, drop your guns!" And then they just kill him. Like instantly, just
like, why didn't you take cover?
And then they run and kill his other friend too.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of killing, though, that wasn't in the screenplay. One of the best deaths we all agreed on. One of the bad guys, the way Stallone puts him down.
Yeah.
Kinet or whatever.
Yeah.
Kinet.
Yeah.
And so we had an issue with this. So he kills him with a stalagmite or a stalactite. He's in a cave. Yes.
And we're talking, he picks him up and then just pushes him into the ceiling.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So think of those
he just gets impaled.
high school looking structures in a cave.
Right.
And we had a little debate on whether it's a stalagmite or a stalactite.
Right.
And Google states here.
Well, hold on. Let's take our guesses.
Okay.
Well, it's only, you get a 50-50 shot. I'm going to go with stalagmite.
Is what?
Is what he put him through.
That hangs from the ceiling?
Yeah.
Okay, Matt?
I was thinking stalactites. This is perfect.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, 50-50.
Well, Drew, I'm sorry, you were wrong. Stalagmite is a mound or tapering column rising from the floor.
From the ground, yeah, okay.
Cave.
Mite,
A stalactite.
Okay, sure.
Tapering structure hanging like an icicle from the roof.
Okay, got you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he just owned that guy with stalactite. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, he did.
That was a quality kill. Like, really enjoyable to watch.
I mean, come on. When they were doing that, like, pre-production, they were like, okay, has anyone gotten killed with a stalactite in a movie? No. All right, we got to take advantage of this right now.
I mean, that's what John Wick just did, basically.
Yeah, like
what objects can John Wick kill people with?
Yeah, creative ways to kill people.
We already got him with a pencil. Like, they got to get more creative. I mean, we could keep going with the special mentions because you just mentioned
pretty much
stalactite death.
Yeah.
Something I just want to say is this movie is just such a gorgeous location to shoot.
Absolutely,
And
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
I read something in the trivia. I didn't get an amount, but I think they had to pay a lot of money to film on the mountain.
I'm sure of it.
I think they had to pay a lot of money.
Well, probably just because it's it's a national park.
Yeah, it's like unsafe.
Maybe, you know? Yes, that too, yeah.
Insurance stuff, like I talked about earlier, with insuring that the $1 million stunt. I'm sure all the other stunts cost a lot of money.
That's just insane to me, man. Like how people just gamble that, you know, like throw money at stuff, and it's just like you don't know if you're going to make money back on that project at all.
That's so true. Wow.
You got to have money in order to be in a
position
like that.
Right?
Well, I'll just throw X amount of dollars here. Let's see. You guys want to do plot holes?
Sure.
That we've wrote down.
Okay.
I mean, the first one here is that there's a bolt gun that Sly's character uses to help him climb, where it's like Batman, essentially, this type of weapon, where he takes it off his utility belt, just like Batman, and shoots it into the mountain wall.
And it goes like a good 10 inches in, dude.
And then he's able to climb or attach a rope to it and do a bunch of different
things. Apply
weight,
it does everything.
Yeah, and this is not physically possible. This type of machine, it doesn't exist in real life.
That would be awesome, though.
So this isn't a tool Stallone has, but this is just kind of what happens to him. I mean, he climbs so much in this movie and screenplay.
An excessive amount.
He doesn't get fatigued at all.
None of it. But he does all of this without a jacket for a good amount of time.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
In a tank top, in the tundra.
Or gloves. Did he have
climbing?
Gloves?
No.
Well, I remember in the screenplay, this wasn't in the movie. There's a point in the screenplay where he has to climb, and he's like shoving his hands into ice.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you remember reading that?
Yeah, I do remember reading it.
Yeah, that sounded awful.
Yeah, dude, your fingertips would get so numb you wouldn't be able to feel anything.
Or they would just freeze off.
Yeah, that too.
What's it called?
Yeah,
frostbite.
Frostbite.
He needed a new hold too for grabbing onto you. And remember, he power punches an ice ball and breaks through it.
Oh, through the waterfall.
Yeah,
it was hilarious.
Climbing a mountain. Well, I mean, it is Stallone, but this was the screenplay, and he's just punching his way up a mountain.
Yeah, just jeez.
And he should have froze to death, right? We just said that.
Yeah.
No coat. And the FBI.
Oh my God!
They did nothing. They were awful. They didn't even notice the plane went down until hours afterwards.
Well, they had the radio connection was on the same channel. Is what you want to say? It's at the end of the movies when they finally
because they were on a public frequency. Yeah, the bad guys.
Just come on.
You're right. The good FBI guys did absolutely nothing in this.
Nothing.
There was no point of even giving them scene time
because all they did was show up at the end and just say, "Good job, Rocky Mountain Rescue."
Oh God. Yeah, that was silly. And that's pretty much the main plot points that happen in the movie. I mean, it ends with Sylvester and the main bad guy, Quaylen, fighting in a helicopter.
Crazy stuff.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd say basically the beginning is the most exciting part of this movie.
Yeah, seriously. Man.
It's got you on. It's just very suspenseful.
Yes,
the beginning.
Agreed.
It makes the hair on your arm stand up.
Does Stallone end the film by killing the bad guy by saying, "Keep your hands and feet in the vehicle at all times"?
Yeah,
yes, he does.
I mean that line is said in the
very
film
beginning,
at least 3 times.
They say it right in the beginning. Yeah.
It said twice for sure. I'm thinking 3. Sly slips it in at some other point halfway through the movie, probably.
Stallone.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, the helicopter like crashes with the main bad guy in it, and that's really it, man. They kind of just kiss and make up.
Yeah, the FBI shows
That's
up.
about it. Yeah.
Everyone's happy again. We just completely forgotten about the girl
And
that
the
died
money.
in the beginning.
And the money.
Oh,
Nobody
yeah,
cares about the money
Yeah,
anymore.
no one cares about the money.
Yeah.
Maybe they're gonna look for it when the snow melts.
Maybe.
I would hope so. I'll go look for it. 90 mil.
Good luck.
Good luck.
So Brian, I hear you got some. So you got some brain busters for us. Is that
this
right?
week,
let's get
I
into
am
it.
prepared. I
All
am
right.
prepared.
All right,
So
let's
yeah,
hit it.
just you guys to lead into my first one here. You were questioning. We don't know what happens. Do you think this final quote? This is of the screenplay.
Okay.
Quote: "Off Gabe's answering smile, comma we dash dash." End quote. Was intended to be a cliffhanger, hence the name of the movie.
Maybe.
Yes. I mean, what? Oh, wait, yeah, I'm reading it right now.
It just the sentence is just
It's just like
abruptly
we.
ends.
It's like, oh, what's gonna happen next?
Oh,
Like,
cliffhanger.
use your imagination.
Yeah, dude. That they used the cliffhanger device right there.
They just had to throw that in there.
I didn't notice that the first time I read the ending. That it just ends on like a sentence that's not finished. That kind of pisses me off. Just finish the sentence. Finish the script. It's a cliffhanger, though. You're right.
Yeah, right.
I mean, since we're talking about that, I do like the title of this movie. I think Cliffhanger is a good title for a movie or story in general.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
agree with it.
it
I like
works
it.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
because dual meaning.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of
right?
dual meanings.
Yeah.
All right. Numero dos here. It's a little, just a Stallone one for you.
Hey, all right.
All right, so Stallone. As you may or may not know, there's a new Rambo in the making. Rambo: Last Blood.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's 70 years old. He's 70.
So this has to be the final one. Initial thoughts, and will you see it in theaters?
I won't see it in theaters. I'll wait till it goes to DVD.
What if we did another movie Tuesday like we did Parabellum? We just go to Rambo, we get the cargoes, we get the candies.
Yeah, we'll get decked out in full camouflage and go to the theater.
I mean, I'm always down for the theater reviews. I like those. I mean, recent movie that came out, I want to see Godzilla just because it's a monster movie.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
But I mean, Rambo in theater,
Millie
I don't know
Bobby
about
Brown.
that. What's that?
I said Millie Bobby Brown because she's in Godzilla.
I mean, I like the original Rambo. I think that's good. But no, I'm not going to see the new one in theater now.
Rambo: Last Blood soon. To
It'll be on
theater near
Netflix. It'll be on Netflix a solid 6 months after it comes out in theaters. It'll be good though. I'm sure it'll be really entertaining.
So my final one. This is 3 for today. Do you agree with the era the movie was made in, or would you like to see this concept / idea in today's tech? Would it be done better?
I don't think it really matters because they had the GPS tracker, according to this movie, and that's all you really need for this plot. You just have to be able to locate the money. It's somehow, right? Is that all you need?
Wait, was your question did you like that it was made in 1993? Would you want to
now,
be a remake?
today, you think CGI is a lot better? Would this movie look a lot cooler? With
I don't think
rock
so.
shots?
I think they did a good job with their special effects and stuff.
Okay.
Visually, I thought it looked okay.
Yeah, the CGI on the bats could have been better. In that one scene when the bats were flying around the cave.
Yeah,
I
that's
guess
true.
so.
That could have been better.
Well, that wraps it for the Busters.
All right,
It was a solid 3.
Thank you.
all right. I feel busted right now.
Getting better. Well, they're more of thought-provoking questions, not I'm trying to stump you guys.
Yeah, nah, that's good. I like the discussion-based stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I like. So I guess we can move right on to the next discussion. Final thoughts.
Ooh, final thoughts.
Me.
I'll go. Cliffhanger. I enjoyed it. I was telling you guys earlier, to be honest, this is one of those movies where I've seen the beginning, but the rest of it I was a little fuzzy on, but it's a good refresher. I enjoy it. Yeah, it was pretty suspenseful. Little plot hole areas, but reading it, the climbing scenes were my favorite. It was pretty detailed. Overall, 2 out of 5.
Okay.
Was this your favorite Stallone movie of all time?
No.
What's your favorite then?
My favorite Stallone movie of all time.
Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot.
I'm
You
gonna
can't say
go.
Rocky.
I'm gonna go with Escape Plan.
That's
Just irrelevant.
that's a good answer.
Yeah.
That's a really good
It's
answer.
not, that movie's not horrible.
No, it's not bad.
It's pretty
It's
good.
not bad.
It's pretty bad, but it's good.
I mean, it's aight.
It's just because Sly's acting
And Arnold.
And Arnold, yeah.
He's just he's the best at escaping prisons of all time, and his job is to escape prisons. What a ridiculous.
Maybe we should do Escape Plan. That's for
I'll go on this movie. I liked it overall, like, the movie's really entertaining. The screenplay's better, like we talked about.
Yeah.
I enjoyed reading it a lot more. And I'll just bring up again something that your advisor or like the mentor guy that you talk to sometimes about writing in Hollywood, and how you can write this awesome idea, but then they can buy it from you and they can change it and they can pretty much do whatever they want within the contract period that you sign. Yeah. And that just kind of sucks, but that's reality. And
it does suck.
And that's the business. And I mean, as we've seen, a lot of screenplays are the same as the final movie and a lot different.
Yeah, true.
Right.
And I mean, I'm thinking back right now. I think is the most different one we've ever done Gremlins?
Maybe Gremlins or like A Quiet Place.
Oh, yeah, Quiet Place was
true.
Those are just like a few that come off the top of my head.
Yeah, cool. But Cliffhanger, it's enjoyable. It's in the top 5 Stallone movies for me, I think. I'll give the movie like 2.5 out of 5.
What would you say you're Stallone? We'll go around with that, Drew. You can get thinking too.
My favorite Stallone movie?
My favorite Stallone movie of all time? Mm-hmm. Well, it's Rocky, but I mean, that's kind of lame. So I'll give a backup answer. Come back to me.
All right.
Come back to me.
My final thoughts. I mean, ultimately, I just think the premise is really cool. As far as the film is concerned, comparing it to the screenplay, I'm just not sure that they executed it in its best ability. I can't speak on that because I'm not involved in things like that.
And this is just a hard concept.
Yeah,
filming
seriously,
on a mountaintop. Filming on top of a mountain. It's hard. It's really hard to do.
This is also a movie that I remember watching as a kid, like whether it was on TV or anything. I liked it as a kid more than I did now because, when I watched it a couple days ago, I hadn't seen it in a while. Okay. I enjoyed it mostly, but I felt like as it just kept going, I was just like, I just don't care about this movie anymore. Mm-hmm. But again, I think it looks really cool. I wish the story was more similar to the screenplay, but I understand that stuff has to happen as far as if you're the producer. Let's see, Stallone. My favorite Stallone movie?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with First Blood.
That was the one. I'm looking at a bunch of his movies
First Blood,
now.
yeah. The first Rambo. It's not. Nice. There's no Rambo in the first movie. The movie's just called First Blood.
Escape Plan, that was just a joke. I like it, but it's not my favorite. I like Rambo a lot, too. Most definitely.
Probably the first Rambo movie. Yeah, it's probably my favorite Stallone movie that I can think of right now.
He really hasn't been in that much stuff that I'm looking at right now.
It's just a bunch of
at least
series
things
based.
that are any good. There's really nothing.
He's in a lot of
good.
he's in a lot of crap.
I like Expendables.
Yeah, those are just crazy, ridiculous movies. Sweet.
Yeah, that's Cliffhanger. All right, we're not
going. Next week should be a surprise episode. Leave a little cliffhanger.
No. I was just about to say we're not going to have a cliffhanger.
No,
come on.
No matter what platform you're using to listen to us, I just want it to be known that we're available on iTunes, Spreaker, and YouTube. So if you like our content, please be sure to follow all of our channels so you can stay in the loop with new episodes. Also, feel free to give us a rating and leave us comments, or send us an email at screenplayjunkie.show@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your feedback. Also, if you have any recommendations of screenplays we should read, movies we should watch, or really anything, let us know on any of our platforms. We're always looking for other things to check out. On the next episode, we're going to look at the 2014 horror film, It Follows. Thank you for listening. We hope you can join us next time.